What's up, everybody? What's happening? What's going on? It's good to be back. A hiatus. Stuff last week, but man, I got on that hiatus. Man, I was playing the hell out of this game, as you see. Man, I was going crazy on that. Oh, Hackers 2. Enjoyed it. Had a good time. You know what I'm saying? Got done with it tonight. Definitely will. I'll let you guys know what I think about it. Maybe in another video. Give you my overall. Pretty much. I did enjoy it. I know life did. So I should tell you, I liked it enough to play it from start to finish without taking any breaks in the sense of playing something else or anything. So I did stop to play. That was the only other game. But anyway, that is not what this video is for, and that's not what this video is about. I definitely want to talk about some things. Of course, as usual, you get people on the internet that always want to tell you that you are bringing out some disinformation. So all I want to do is just let you guys hear my voice and let you know what's going on. And you judge for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You could go look this stuff up. You could go try to find it, research it, whatever. But one thing that I do not do, and if I'm wrong about something, I'll let you know that I'm wrong. But now, if I'm confident about something, for the most part, I know what I'm talking about. And anyway, for people out here that's new, what's going on, man? Hey, hit that subscribe button, that like button. You know what I'm saying? Going to be doing more of my videos. Definitely going to start streaming again. Get back to doing Fight Night Sunday. Going to bring back sports nights, all of that. But anyway, and then of course I'm going to RG all night, and then of course night 448. So this situation with the strategies, right? Like I know that everybody's jumping on with the Jim Ryan because it's all kind of related, and it's funny to me because PlayStation strategy has been the same forever. Not been one of those things where, it's been where what's going on, everybody? What's happening? What's up, Dirt? What's up? Happening with you? Only on Xbox. Sorry, listen to Bobby. You know what I'm saying? Bobby who? Hey, only on Xbox. You gotta let me know. Bobby who? Anyway, I don't know. Bobby right next to him. I don't know. Let me whatever. Oh, is it my mic? What's wrong with my mic? What's happening with my mic? My mic tripping? Acting up? Let me know. Oh, you saying my mic is going in and out? Okay. How do I sound now? Does it sound better? Come on, somebody let me know if my mic is sounding better. Because it could be me. I was constantly walking away from it. So if my mic is doing better, let me. Ugh. All right, are we back? What in the hell is going on here? Let's see. Am I still live? Because it's doing this crazy stuff now. I know that there was an update, but I said give me a reminder on the OBS. So if not, then I'll have to switch over to the other OBS. But it's acting up. My apologies. I'm gonna have to. Okay, I think we're back. I think we're back. Let's see. Yeah, it is the connection because I'm looking at it, but it was an update. I know. I got Jim Ryan just hacked me, bro. That's what's happening. Okay, it's showing that it's excellent, but then it's okay. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna roll with it. And I apologize if it's gonna start tripping or whatever. So, let's see. All right, we'll roll with it. Hopefully, it ironed itself out. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, live, doing it live, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Christ. All right, so I better be quick with this because, like I said, I don't know when this is going to happen again. Anyway, so the strategies between PlayStation and Xbox is definitely different, But what I'm not liking is the fact that when people say that I'm giving out misinformation, when I say Sony has been having this strategy forever about having these times exclusives and trying to force their way to dominate the market. This is what Xbox is doing is no different, but it's just a different strategy. Xbox is buying studios. PlayStation doesn't necessarily buy studios. They have good relationship with a lot of these Japanese companies, or just in companies, studios in general, and publishers. And so therefore they have this long-lasting relationship, especially with back then when it was Squaresoft, and now it was called Square Enix. That's why I still feel that Square Enix will probably be picked up by Sony eventually. And I mean, technically they don't have to, but let me just go ahead and do some history, since there's people that keeps trying to tell me that I'm giving out misinformation. All right, case in point. You always hear me talk about Battle Arena Toshinden, right? How much I like that game. How did I know about that game? Well, when I first was making the decision about getting me a Sega Saturn or a PlayStation, it was because of the fact that I was a Sega guy that I was going to get the Saturn. But the one thing that left me at pause was the price, because the Sega Saturn was $100 more than the PlayStation that came out. So of course, already, I mean, I didn't know anything about the PlayStation when it first was brought up or shown at the game store that I was going to. But I was looking at like the posters, because the guy that I had, it was a little mom and pop store. But he always had the posters up from all the companies, right? From Nintendo, Xbox, I'm sorry, from Nintendo, PlayStation, and Sega. So, of course, since PlayStation at the time was new, he had more advertisement for that, and there wasn't that much for Sega. It was pretty crazy. Like, I was like, wonder what, Sega's been around or whatever. But then there was a picture of Toshinden. And I'm like, what game is that? He says, oh man, this is this fighter that's going to be coming out. And I'm a fighter fan. He knows that I'm a fighter fan. He says, read the poster and what it says. And the poster said this, and I know that y'all going to know this is very familiar. It says, Virtual Fighter Killer. The Virtual Fighter Killer. I know y'all have heard that before, coming from Sony. And I'm like, what? This game is supposed to be better than Virtual Fighter? No way. So then the price point, Virtual Fighter, then my homeboy buys the PlayStation. I come over there, I play, and then they have the mighty Tekken in NFL Game Day. It was all over. It was all over. It was a wrap. So the next I think it was the next day after, I went ahead and copped the PlayStation. And then I went ahead and I got Battle Arena Toshinden. Now, check this out. I love Battle Arena Toshinden, but this is another thing. Battle Arena Toshinden was a timed exclusive. I never thought that the game ever went to Saturn, but because I had to do my history, you know what I'm saying? Because there was a couple of friends that still bought a Saturn, and they were like, man, why this game ain't on Saturn? I said, I don't know. I said, they were saying that this was the Virtual Fighter Killer. This game is dope. We always loved it and everything. And then eventually, come to find out that the game a year later comes to Sega Saturn as it was called Toshinden Remix. Now, another thing where we're going to sit there and keep this going. Another game that was debuted on the Saturn was Tomb Raider. Let's talk. This is the thing about this whole thing. There's a lot of guys that do all this capping, swear that they know the game in history. They don't know the game in history like that. They talk. They just talk. Sega Saturn, Tomb Raider was debuted on the Sega Saturn. When Tomb Raider 2 dropped, it never came to Sega Saturn. Now, the Sega Saturn was only around for 3 years, because not only that PlayStation strategy that was there to dominate, because PlayStation was the most, was at that time, was most likely the biggest conglomerate company to get into the gaming space. Nintendo was huge, but I believe Sony at that time, now I could be wrong on that, but I believe Sony at that time was the biggest company to get into the gaming space. bigger than Nintendo even. So PlayStation's strategy was like, man, we got to find a way, because they had beef with Nintendo. Nintendo and Sega had beef amongst each other. So Nintendo was hitting Sega from one end, and so PlayStation was hitting Sega from the other end. And they were trying to keep games off of Nintendo and Sega, and it put Sega in this demise. Now, granted, Sega's strategy, the way that they were so aggressive with the pricing and the way and management, it was flawed. There was no question. That and the Dreamcast, it was flawed. But Nintendo, if you know the history, Nintendo's biggest issue, I mean, what Nintendo did is that they were trying to stop Sega from being added to all these retailers, because they had a better relationship with the retail market. And Sega, because of their aggressive price, and then you got this new competitor, which is Sony, and now they're taking games away from Sega. They just pushed them. It's like, nah, bro, you're out of here. Get you out of here. We want Nintendo. We ain't even worried about you. And let's not forget about the whole graveyard. Jaguar, they didn't get games that was on PlayStation. The 3DO, they didn't get games that was on PlayStation. Hell, Nintendo didn't get those games that was on PlayStation. Nintendo was living off of the games that they owned, and they had a better they had multiplayer games, of course, at that time. But you mean to tell me that a Battle Arena Toshinden or a Tekken couldn't play on the Nintendo 64 or the GameCube? Bullshit, they could. And see, for gamers at that time, we were ignorant. We didn't understand the logistics and how the business side works, and most of us really still don't. I mean, a lot of this stuff is beyond our pay grade, right? But the problem is that when you got the media today, that because we are paying attention more to what's going on with the ins and outs, the problem is that the media should go back and explain the history of how all these strategies has come to be, instead of just going after Microsoft's strategy. Since Microsoft is the richest company out of all these companies, that's out of the big three, they try to make PlayStation come out to look like the David. And PlayStation was never the David. They've always been the Goliath, because they've had strategies to even keep Nintendo at bay. If it wasn't for Nintendo's IPs, where do you think Nintendo would be? They would be a third party. See, once the heads of Sony realized that PlayStation can go and get away with these time exclusives, why should we buy anything? Why should we acquire? We could just pay to keep these games off of other platforms, and it works. Case in point, when Dreamcast came out, which is one of our beloved favorite consoles because of some of the greatest games that they came with, Sega just didn't have the money. They didn't have the capital to compete with Sony. And so when you got these gamers that keeps kind of come out and say, well, all last gen, Microsoft needs to compete. Microsoft needs to step it up. Microsoft needs to do this. Xbox needs to have more games. Xbox needs to acquire this, or Xbox needs to do it. Now they're doing it. What's happening? It blows my mind. It blows my mind that people today will sit there and not remember the history, and then all you got to do is go back and research it yourself. But the reason why I know this is because of the facts of just randomly being in situations that was like because of certain games. Sega never had Legend of Lagoon or Xenogears, or hell, Street Fighter, the Street Fighter 3D games, or Star Gladiator, or a ton of games. They just weren't on there. They just weren't on the Saturn. They just weren't. And the Saturn was not a bad console. Matter of fact, it was the most powerful console when it launched. You know, when you think of it and look at it from this perspective, PlayStation had NFL Game Day, Madden on their console. Now, again, NFL Game Day was owned by Sony, so there's no issue with that situation. There's no issue within anything. This is all business. This is not saying that anything that what Sony is doing is illegal. But I mean, but people just got to be real about this. So when Jeff Keighley is talking about, well, I want to talk to Microsoft and get their answers about this whole Call of Duty thing, man, this is business. Don't you want the business to compete? I get it. I get it. It's different now. Because now Sony is in that position to where they don't have the money to compete with Microsoft when Microsoft really want to flex. They just can't. And then when you look at the other side about it, when you talk about the competition, what's really funny is that Nintendo hasn't had a Call of Duty on this console for how many years? And they're doing fine. They're the #1 selling console. Oh, you're right. Legend of Lagoon is I'm thinking of Legend of Legaia. Because I'm thinking of Legend of Legaia, not Legend of Dragoon. Legend of Dragoon is Sony property. I don't think it's Legend. Okay, so it's Legend of Lagoon, Legend of Dragoon, and then Legend of Legaia. I think Legend of Legaia was with somebody else. That's what I was trying to say. I believe Wild Arms was on the Saturn. I believe it was. I could be wrong about that. But then we looking at another game of like Tabal. That look, I get it, right? Like, I mean, it's the strategy of it. But you can't tell me that Sony's strategy didn't hurt Sega. It didn't hurt Atari. It didn't hurt the 3DO. It didn't hurt the TurboGrafx 16. I mean, the Neo Geo was just too expensive and wasn't in all the regions. I mean, the only reason why I got to play a Neo Geo was from a homeboy from school that was stationed from Guam that moved to Oklahoma, and we got a chance to play his only 6 games because he was like his dad wouldn't buy any more games because they were too damn expensive. Don't what did you say? Only on Xbox? I know. I don't know what you said. Dirt. If this was Dirt Channel, it would be roasting you. I don't even know what's going on. Oh, you talking to Fahim. Never mind. I'm sorry about the cutting in, cutting out. Like I said, I'm gonna be quick on this video. Because obviously I'm having some I didn't take the update for OBS, and now this thing is acting a damn fool. So I'm gonna see if I could try to get the update after this. But there's a big update that was there, and I was trying to get the update, but for some reason it wasn't taking it. So that's why I was like, okay, well, I'll just say remind me later, and then I'll try to do the update here a little bit later. So I apologize for this. So I should have went to the other stream that the slobs, that's what it's called. It's different, but they're not the same as OBS. But I should have went there. But once I start seeing the update situation, I thought it was going to be fine. But I apologize for it. But anyway. But that's my whole problem with this situation. Listen, you cannot come out here and just talk about, well, Microsoft's strategy is it's sleazy, it's dirty. They're acquiring studios, and they won't have the most it's not a monopoly because they won't own the most studios. The whole thing with Jim Ryan and all this crying is and I said this a couple of weeks ago, and I'll say it again tonight and probably tomorrow. But if I was an employee at a Sony studio, and I'm hearing Jim Ryan go off talking about, or just Sony and how they're coming out and saying that there's no game that we can make that's comparable to Call of Duty, I would feel some kind of way. For all the accolades that Sony games have gotten, you mean to tell me at the end of the day, all that matters is the money? Well, we all know that in reality, but let the stands come and tell you that all those accolades about winning Game of the Year award, Metacritic, and this game sold, this game is highly touted for this and that, blah blah blah. It's one of the best in history. At the end of the day, even Sony's their boss, You know what I'm saying? It's saying, nah, man. Man, call it. They ain't none of these games are going to make Call of Duty money. So therefore, we got to sell out and make our studios look bad over a game that is as shallow as can be. Now, look, Call of Duty is. I call Call of Duty like the sandwich and potato chips or the peanut butter jelly of gaming. Like, I mean, it's just when you want to sit down and just play, get through it, enjoy. You know, you got a couple of hours before you got to go to bed and go to work, and then just jump in or have a weekend or whatever the case may be. You jump in, play some COD. COD is like that. It's like your potato chips. Like you hungry, you want to get a meal, but you just like, damn man. So you grab a snack. That's what Call of Duty is. Now, for some people, Call of Duty is the full, but that's what makes Call of Duty so special. And even me myself thought that Call of Duty was going to fall on, it was going to have a demise and it was going to fall off eventually. I was wrong. Call of Duty ain't going nowhere. Just not. No matter how much I cap for Battlefield, because Battlefield keeps tripping over, DICE keeps tripping over their damn feet when they have the opportunity to do something to fully compete against Call of Duty, they always trip over their feet. So I concede. Call of Duty is the king, is the king, is the king. The only game that I feel that's comparable, well, of course, there's Fortnite and stuff like that, but I'm saying in the sense of, like, for me, Halo, if Halo wouldn't trip over their fucking feet, then Halo would probably be in the same category. But since we got to wait to see what Halo does with their content, Lord have mercy. You know what I'm saying? Call of Duty is just king right now. Fortnite, Call of Duty, Apex. That's it. So I don't understand how people can try to make this out to be where it is a problem for Xbox to go ahead and acquire this. Even after they said, look, we're going to honor the deal and we'll extend it by another 3 years. That's a bargain. That gives you plenty of time to try to figure out. You acquired Bungie. You don't think Bungie can make a great, solid shooter for PlayStation exclusively? The thing of it is that Sony wants its cake and eat it too because it's had that right to do it for all these years. It would have you know what I'm saying? They've had their cake and eat it too for all these years. And it goes beyond just what the problems of the Xbox One. They've been had it ever since the beginning of time, going to when I brought up about Battle Arena Toshinden was a timed exclusive, a year exclusive, and then they went ahead and did and just locked down Tomb Raider 2 once they seen that game was successful. And took that, and while that game was debuted on the Saturn as a launch title, they just snatched it. Look at what they did with Street Fighter V. And then they always come with this, the killer of Gears, the killer of Halo, the killer of Forza. You know why they do that? Because they feel threatened. And they were threatened by Virtua Fighter, because Virtua Fighter is the first premier 3D fighting game. I don't think anybody was anticipating to see Tekken to take off the way that it did, but it did. And then after that, it was like, oh shit, well, okay, well, we'll make sure that we'll keep Tekken off of everything. That's why it tripped me out when Tekken first came on Xbox, and it blew my mind because I always thought, and I'm pretty sure most gamers thought, Tekken was exclusive and was owned by Sony, because that's the only place that you could play it. But it was kind of like what they're doing with Final Fantasy right now, just locking that shit up, just paying the bare minimum, just enough. I mean, I'm sure it's a lot of money, but it's the bare minimum. It's not buying and acquiring a studio money. You see what I'm saying? So that's why, to me, it's like, if Sony's strategy has worked for them, why Microsoft, and nobody said anything, why Microsoft's strategy of just buying what they want can't work for them? Why is it that it's okay for Embers Group to suck up and have all these studios more than anybody? Why is it okay for Tencent to grab all these studios, some of these heavy hitters out here, and not say anything? It blows my mind. And that was the problem for me about when I'm saying about these strategies is that, look, it's just strategies. Nothing's wrong with this. Stop trying to make Sony out to look like the little guy that's getting pushed around by a big bully. While Sony has been the bully ever since they jumped into the gaming space. Sony has always been aggressive, and they've been pushing, and they've like I said, they would have put Nintendo out of business if it wasn't Nintendo IPs. They would have made them a third party. And PlayStation was damn near about to put Xbox into making them a third party. Or at least all them studios, once Xbox was dissolved, then all those studios, because Halo was finna go to Gearbox. I mean, Gears probably would have went back to Epic. And then you know the relationship between Epic and Sony right now. So you know what I mean? So again, Sony would have got what they want, just like they did from Sega. And Nintendo as well. But the difference is that Nintendo's strategy is that we live and die off of our own IPs. That's why we're keeping them in-house. We're not going to try to play the console war bullshit to the point to where we want to have the more powerful console. We did that. It didn't work. Now we'll just do it our way. So Xbox is looking for their own strategy. And there shouldn't be nothing wrong with it. So Sony did this to Sega, man. Like, so again, when you're saying that I'm sending out misinformation, if I said, oh, Sony was alone, all the reason why why the Sega Saturn folded and the Dreamcast folded, then that would be misinformation. No, it's not misinformation. What I'm saying is that Sega helped themselves just like Xbox helped Sony, because Xbox's direction at the time during the Xbox One was absolutely flawed. But Sony was right there pushing, yeah, go ahead, do what you got to do. And also giving out information of saying 1080p makes you a better gamer, knowing that just from the very beginning, bragging about the $100 price tag difference between the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Also sitting here keeping games exclusive like Persona and Street Fighter V and all the other games that was on all these Japanese games and all these other, when Xbox 360 had tons of games, had so much variety. So yeah, no, Xbox management was in shams. That's why so many Xbox gamers, thank goodness that Phil took over. Nobody worship the man, but the man is doing a damn great job of getting Xbox back to where it's supposed to be, and even making it more competitive than what it was during the 360. Because even when the 360 days, while Xbox was at its apex, or we thought there was, we didn't know that Xbox was going to do what they're doing now. And so all these stupid narratives, Xbox got it. We know what games are coming. We see the lineup. Your PlayStation stands, you will not sit here and tell Xbox gamers that talk shit to us about delayed games when every damn PlayStation game has been delayed year after year after year after year. Just because 2022 was a good year for your exclusives doesn't mean that you have the right to talk about Xbox games being delayed. Y'all don't have any games. What? There's a whole list of games that's right there going to be coming. And there's a couple of games that's going to be coming that's not going to be AAA. Y'all don't got no AAA game. Yeah, we do. They're just delayed. Remember all the games that were supposed to be slated to come last year, 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016, 2015, 2014, 2013. That was supposed to be coming the year after or the 2 years after or whatever, and they didn't all come. They all got delayed. So what? Why Xbox can't do the same? Make sure that their games come out to be the best that they can be. And then my last point on this too is the whole thing about the Xbox One S. You know, it is crazy to me that how so many stands hate that console. They fear it. When they talk about something all the time, they fear it. They'll talk to you all damn day. I'm over here sitting here playing the game, take a little break for a second. I sit there and I'll type back and forth. I'm like, are these people playing games, or they just want to talk all damn day? So I made me a new rule. If I'll give you a couple of hours. We'll have a discussion back and forth. But then the last time, but it was, I think it was during my birthday, on the 25th. And I was having this conversation with somebody. We talked all damn day. And then the bastard wanted to keep on talking the next day. We ain't doing that no more. Taking away from my gaming time. You're taking away from me my other leisure time for everything else I want to do. I'm over here going back and forth with this person. And the conversation went so many directions, like the straw man mentality is ridiculous with the PlayStation stand. They cannot stay on topic. Everything else. Okay, you could say, man, today was a good day. Man, it was sunny blue skies. And there'll be a damn stand that'll come out of nowhere and say, man, it's raining over here. And you know, your son, man, it doesn't get as hot over there that it does over here. What the hell does that got to do with me saying I'm having a good day and it's a nice blue sky? What the hell has that got to do with anything? Then the whole $70 thing, where they'll come up and they'll bring up all types of crazy shit, like you're talking all over the place, right? Kind of like I'm doing right now. I apologize, because it's all really kind of go back to the Series S conversation. But it's just another thing to me. It's like when you're talking about the $70 price tag, you're saying, look, there's a sucker born every day. I got you. You can be that sucker. I'm not watching your pockets. But why are you worried about me enjoying the Series S? Why are you enjoying the fact? Why are you mad at me for enjoying the Series S? Because the fact of it is, there's no console that could do 120 frames. It doesn't matter about the resolution. There is no console that can do 120 frames at $300. Name me a console right now or in the past that could do 120 frames per second at $300. You can't. It's 720p. It's 900p. It's not. Y'all bitches just got 1440p on a $500 console, and y'all bastards are going to be paying $550 damn dollars for a console with lighter parts, less. Man, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna save it for. I'm gonna save it, Sir X Man. I'm gonna save it. See, you coming in at the last part when I'm about to get the hell out of here. But no, you fine. You fine. But it blows. Yeah, no, it just doesn't make no sense to me. Why be upset about? Because look, the PlayStation Slim. From everybody I knew, we thought that was a smart move by Sony. Like, of course, that was their best-selling console. Was the PlayStation Slim and the regular PlayStation. The PlayStation didn't meet any expectations compared to the Slim. None. Because you know what? Most people, especially the casuals, they look for value. They look for bargains. That's just like you coming to me, telling me, man, I'm finna go to the movie theaters. I'm finna go to a matinee, or I'm going to the late night movie, and I'm finna go watch Top Gun, the first Top Gun, in IMAX. Hey, that's cool. I'm finna go watch Bullet Train. You know what I'm saying? But I'm finna watch it during the day. I think because I'm finna watch it during the day when it's cheaper. See, that's your problem. You cheap. You could go watch, you could go watch, Top Gun on your TV. I'm free to stream it, or if you got it, you can buy the movie for cheap and watch it in. Yeah. Well, I'm not talking about the new Top Gun. I'm talking about the old Top Gun, the first one that came in the '80s. Yeah. Well, I'm making a scenario. And but you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying I'm gonna go watch Bullet Train, but I'm gonna watch it during the day, so it's cheaper during the day. But somebody will knock you for that. That's the same shit about this damn Last of Us. People bought that game. They got it that Thursday, that Friday. And I see people already saying, man, this was a fun, great experience. Y'all beat that bitch already? A $70 game. Man, I bought Soul Hackers 2 on the 25th of August, and I just beat it last night. Got 100 and some plus hours and paid less money. No, is it got all the accolades and it's a primetime visually experience? No, it's not. But I got more entertainment for less. That's the value. That's what gamers like. That's why the Series S is going to surpass that's going to surpass even the Xbox One X or the Series X because of the value. People are going to appreciate. People appreciate that. Game Pass value. It's all that. Yeah. I don't think it will. I mean, I think it's a really good game, but there's but I think that there's I think there's a couple of missing things in there from keeping it from being a game of the year, in my opinion. Like I said, I'll talk about it one of these days. Well, no. You're right. You're right. But it'll definitely be a RPG that'll be probably nominated for RPG of the year. And I think it should be in that category. But I don't know about Game of the Year. But I overall, what I'm saying is that look, man, stop trying to worry about people. I'm not worried about your pockets. I'm just not myself. I'm going to pay $70 for no damn standard game. I'm just not doing it. Even though I know that Batman's going to be $70, I got reward points. Then I'm gonna make sure that I'm not gonna pay when the Harry Potter game drops. I'm gonna make sure I'm not paying $70 for that game. The only way that I'll pay $70 or more is when I'm getting the deluxe edition or the ultimate edition. That's the tradition. That's what I'm staying as. And if you got a game that's coming on the older consoles and the new consoles, I'm not paying $70 for it. Now, maybe that might be a different discussion when these games are only Xbox Series S and X only and PlayStation 5 only. That might be a different discussion. But until then, I'm not paying. When those games are still coming on the old consoles and those are $60 over there, nah, bro, it ain't happening. You ain't getting me. You ain't getting me. You ain't getting me like that. You ain't getting me. No, they love that one. They love that. You said, but Fahim, what are you talking about? Why am I complaining about The Last of Us? I'm not complaining about The Last of Us. I'm complaining about the people capping for The Last of Us. If you want to say I'm a fool, look, shout out to Dark Optimus. He said it himself. He says, I've been back and forth on this. You know what I'm saying? He's a PlayStation guy. You know what I'm saying? He's logical. Sometimes he'll go a little left, but he's logical though. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I think everybody goes a little left every once in a while. But he's logical. And he says, look, man, I got to get this game. Because, he fell for the hype. And there's nothing wrong with that. And so I said, what you were saying the last time that you wasn't interested in it. He says, I'm just a fool. I can't help myself. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just say, look, look, man, I'm an idiot. And I'm just going to pay the $70. That's fine. I'm not worried about what your money look like. I don't care how you do it. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be messy again. But I just think that no, if I extremely love that game has to have more than what the previous game had. That's just like for me for Fable, right? If they redo not this new Fable that's coming from Playground, but let's just say that they want to get people familiar with Fable, and they're just doing the very first Fable, even though they need to have all three Fables. I know, but I'm saying if they remastered Fable 1 to the degree of what they did with The Last of Us, right? That's great. But if they charge $70, I'm not buying it. I've already played the game and beat it, and really, technically. Fable 1 is longer than the first Last of Us, I believe. Yeah, no, by far. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Because it's been so long since I beat Fable 1. But the thing to me is this, like, I'm just not. If you know what I'm saying, games like that those are fan service games, in my opinion. Even the Master Chief Collection wasn't $60. So, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It's crazy to me. But again, last point, and then you man, you say what you want to say and get out of here. But yeah, but I just want to say this is that the strategies is just different, but you cannot say that Sony's strategies from the past it's not stalled or helped propel other companies to fold, because it has. Sega was getting hit, like I said, from both sides. They were getting hit from Nintendo that was talking to retailers like, look, this Nintendo was a more popular console overall. They listened to Nintendo. Then you got PlayStation that's coming from the other end that's taking exclusives and making them timed or just keeping them on the console. And then of course, with their bad management, they was too aggressive on the price. It was much higher, and they didn't have the library of games like the PlayStation or Nintendo had, and it folded. That's just the bottom line. And then, of course, like I said, the sea of fucking consoles, from the Turbo X16 to the 3DO to the Jaguar. Yeah. All those consoles, they folded because they couldn't get the same games that PlayStation or Nintendo had. So it's not like it's evil or anything, but it's just part of business. And so people got to stop acting like PlayStation ain't did no wrong, or even Nintendo. So you know what I'm saying? It's really crazy to me. So, Sir X-Man, what you got to say, brother, before we get out of here? Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. Oh shit, my bad. My bad. You did all that talking and nobody couldn't hear you, Sir X-Man. I'm sorry. I didn't have. I wasn't expecting nobody to be
And
here
I was
except for
making
me.
sense too, wasn't I?
You was making sense. I'm sorry when somebody said no sound. My bad. So that was just people just sitting there listening to nothing. Go ahead, sir. Say it one more time. I'm sorry, brother.
I'll try to put it in a shorter version, everyone.
Okay. All right.
All
Sorry.
right. I'll go. When the PlayStation 1 came out, it was innovative. They changed the everything with the discs of the games and the controller schemes and everything. But as Sony has progressed over time, they have stayed stagnant in their business model. While Microsoft and even Nintendo were changing their business model for consoles. And after a certain time, Sony started stealing ideas from the other new consoles, from how online works, from how the Wii had controllers, separate controllers that were gaining momentum over Sony. 360 came out, and it took Sony for a loop. And they had then again, they took time to change. They didn't have online, real good online, until in the middle of PS3 when they started charging you. It was free for a while, but then they started charging you. So they goaded you in with the free, but they got you with the pay. So they didn't make advances in their online play until they started copying, don't get mad at me, people, Microsoft with the PS4. They had enough power and they probably got their network together to run that. So now they're ahead with everybody knows what's happened in 2013. That jumped them ahead of everything with the DRM crap. But now that Microsoft is back to innovating again, Microsoft got out of being stagnant and now they're innovating again like they did with the original Xbox. So Sony's playing catch up, but you wait too long, and it's 3 to 4 years after the fact of Game Pass innovation that you're trying to catch up because you see which way it is going. And that's why the prices are Sony wanted that $70 mark so they could get a little bit more profit on what they have lost with being stagnant in the market. And this is pretty much all I'm saying on that. But everyone, that is actually the truth. You know, you can't keep living in the past when the future is going by you. It's like a car. I'm gonna use a moochism. It's like buying a car.
We on Discord.
Yeah, it's like buying a car that keeps all the standard stuff while you got newer cars for the same price, giving innovation in them. What people are gonna do? Go to the new car with the innovative stuff for the same price. And that's what Sony was doing, being the old car. And that's why they have to try to figure out a way to play catch up financially and technology wise. That's why the prices are so much higher on Sony stuff. And they want this $70 a stick on all the games that are coming out because they want to be justified for the $70 games that's only on their system, but not coming out for the other systems. That was quick. That's all I want to say, Kay.
All right. Okay. So, Zobi, it's been a minute, man. Okay. What up, bro? You said you wanted to talk.
Did that make sense, Kay?
Yeah, no. It made sense. It made sense. You was preaching.
So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
What's
we
up,
got you.
Zobi? Yeah, we got you.
Cool.
Make sure they can hear him, K Mega.
Yeah, no, they can hear you. They can hear you because once I got everybody. I got you. I got everybody else that heard.
I want to. I know you guys are having a topic about Xbox versus PlayStation, right?
Right.
Moderately.
But I know me and you had a conversation on Twitter that was, I think it was completely opposite to the conversation right now.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation was it pertaining to Game Pass?
I don't know. We've had a couple of conversations. There was one that I disagree with you with. Like I was like, come on, man. But whatever the case may be, I mean, I'm sure you're going to remind me. So let's hear what you got to say.
No, I'm trying to remember as well.
Oh shit. Okay. So
I know you said you wanted to have me on this Friday, but I work
Yeah.
I work 2 jobs now.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm free right now.
Okay. Yeah.
But
anytime that if I'm doing something, if you want to come on, just hop on anytime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We love to hear you. Love
Sure.
to hear what you got to say.
You my man. You my man. You know, for real. So you know, whatever I say about Xbox, I hope you don't take it in a way.
No, I never like that. Like, see,
Yeah.
because I'm not
Dude.
I'm not irrational to sit there and when somebody has a different opinion about Xbox other than me, I'll debate
Yeah.
it. But everybody has the right to say what they want to say. Like when you say what you say, for the
Yeah,
most
yeah.
part, I just let it ride. You know what I'm saying? And if there's something, I'm like, oh, come on now. But for the most part, I let people just say what they want to say in the sense
Yeah.
of and be respectful. I'm not going to insult you. I'm not going to sit there. Now I'll clown and have a good time, but that's as far as it goes. So
Yeah.
no, go ahead and say what you got to say.
Because you've heard us. You know we get on Microsoft if they messing
if
up too.
Xbox do something,
We
get in there.
don't
That's cool.
hesitate. And
Yeah.
I praise Sony if they do something good. I always have.
Oh, that'd be a nice thing I want to talk. I think I remember what it was now. I think it was
You're welcome.
yeah, thank you. I think it was one in the, it was I know it was challenging Game Pass and if it was really the best deal or the best bargain in gaming.
Right.
Another thing, but to because you guys said you go after Microsoft as well. And I asked you, I said, who do we blame for this Halo 343 debacle?
Oh yeah, and I said everybody. I said everybody.
Everybody,
for
the
it.
whole Microsoft that handles that gaming division.
Well,
Microsoft.
I'm saying everybody. I'm saying fans. I'm saying 343 management.
Phil Spencer.
Phil Spencer.
Phil
everybody.
Spencer, you in
Everybody.
charge of the whole thing. You're right.
Matt Booty. Everybody. I say everybody's is at fault for the situation with Halo, in my opinion.
Mhm. We've said that.
Is it really 343's problem though, or fault?
Well, the 343 developers know, but for the
Yeah.
management at 343, yes.
Yeah.
Who doesn't know how
you
to
know what I'm
get
saying?
the employees running it? Yep.
Right. Bonnie Ross, yes. For you know what I'm saying, for Phil and for whoever that Matt Booty and for whoever that's trying to force that game to get out there, knowing that game isn't ready, that's their fault. For the advertising,
Not having the content.
for not having the right advertising, that's their fault. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. And the fans, why I say the fans, like, because there's fans like me that want the game to progress, get further away from just Master Chief and Cortana. And then there's the Bungie fan You know what I'm saying? That cares only about just Halo 3 and that's it. And we're pulling away from their creativity. And so they're trying to cater to everyone, and you just can't do that. And
Here's
that's
the
why
biggest
everybody's
thing, real quick, young man. Here's the biggest thing, young man.
Yeah.
You have 8, sometimes 1,000 developers working on this game. And this part bothers me. There is no excuse with that many people why this game should not have content. If that's poor management.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's management. That's a management.
Poor organization.
Yeah, but that's not the developers at 343's fault.
That's not the developers, but it's the management that's supposed to handle the developers
right. That's what I'm
in
saying,
a more organized way. So
right.
A group of people do this part, a group of people do that part. That's how it works in business. A group of other people do that part to get the one final thing out for shipping. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not organized with the people, the smaller groups, and merging them together to work on that one project, it's going to fail every single time because everybody starts saying, I'm going to do this my way. I'm going to do this my way. I'm going to do this my way. Instead of everybody coming together for one project. And that's the problem. Too many people are in there and you need to organize them better. I think there's bad organization of the amount. That's a lot of people too for a game. We ain't even got that many employees at my terminal where I work. And Pixel, we handle all
Sir
over the country.
is like 57. So yeah, he's older than you, Pixel. So
I'm older than a lot of people.
Oh shit! Still Rain said you 76. But anyway, go ahead, man.
Oh, whatever. I'm gonna get you. You got to get on the podcast so I can rip you, man. But that's the problem. You can't run a company with bad organization. You can't do it, or else you will not be successful. Hence, that's why Halo Infinite is not successful right now. It's successful as far as people liking it. But
we need to get Phil Spencer out of here. Do we need we need a new management team?
Absolutely not.
No, not Phil Spencer.
Phil Spencer has saved Xbox. Stop it. Stop it. Do not.
Phil Spencer needs to be more. Phil Spencer needs to be more authoritative when it comes to certain things.
Well, he has been. He has been. I'm not. So listen. I got to hear what Zobi got to say about Phil. Because I know that you probably got an angle for this, but please explain to me why you would think that Phil Spencer needs to be out of here.
I had a bug in my bonnet with Phil Spencer ever since he got here, man. When he first came in, he's a gamer just like us, man, and that's a red flag. That's a red flag for me. That's a red flag for me. I go,
oh shit! Okay,
that's a red flag.
Okay, I'm gonna shut up and let you ride. Okay, let us all hear.
You know, I like Iwata. And rest in peace and all that, right?
Right.
He said he was a gamer first as well, too. You know, but Iwata physically would come down and see what they were creating, and he would start implementing things on how to improve it. You know what I mean? Not just when it pertains to the console, even when it came to the gameplay. Not only that, Iwata would have Miyamoto come in and watch over the people and see what they were doing. Not that Miyamoto Iwata was always right, but still, I can respect that more than Phil Spencer, who's just sitting around and playing video games. Why hasn't he come down to 343 Studios and say, okay, this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do, except for just saying, I saw this the other day. Oh, Phil, we want you to come down and play our Fable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why isn't he more hands-on when it pertains to these games? They're just launching 343's Halo is launching all messed up. And I go, where is Phil Spencer's implementation for these games? You know, do you see it?
Well, see, okay. Now, in the sense of talking about that, I look at it from twofold. One is that Phil and them paid $250 million to $500 million for Halo 5. I mean, for Halo Infinite, because of the engine, for everything else that they were doing with the game. Um,
That's too much, man. You
well,
said
no,
a quarter
no,
billion? A quarter
yeah,
billion?
quarter billion, yes.
Oh my god.
So I mean, because at first
Yeah.
the reports were saying half a billion, and then when
It was $500 million for
yeah, they were saying
development.
they were saying
Oh,
500 million. I you know what I'm saying, from the people that I talked to, they were saying it was certainly that I trust that have interactions with Phil Spencer personally.
yeah.
They say yeah, no,
Mhm.
the quarter billion stuff is true. So you know what I'm saying, they don't know about the half a billion or whatever, but they paid a lot of money for it overall. And so when you
Mhm.
paid that much money into something, um, what as a publisher, or as it's just kind of like with the whole cyberpunk situation, like when you
Yeah.
pay so much money for something, and then you start seeing the anticipation and people are ready, and then you start looking and seeing social media, and then their marketing team is saying, look, we need to get this game out of here because it's hot right now. We got to do this, right? Then
Mhm.
that's the point too. You go into it and you look, and then you get told from from the dev side or from the manager that says, look, man, this game ain't ready. Or if they thought that it was ready, then they come out, and then you got the Craig situation, and then that's when Phil did the right thing and saying, look, this shit is getting bad press. Y'all better put that shit back in the oven and make it work, and have this game ready by launch for the for the I mean, well, it was supposed to be for the launch, but we had this game ready for the following year. So then you
Mhm.
get to the point of the following year, and the game is polished, but they put all their time into polishing the game instead of them working on the content, because the person that they hired came in and cleaned house and started cutting shit from the game, and then starts implementing their thoughts into the game, while all of the strategy that was put forth all those years in development is now kicked off to the curb. They had no choice but to put the game out the way as it was constructed. I said it personally that it shouldn't have been, but I think because they didn't want to have that thought process of still having that Xbox doesn't have any games narrative going on, because going into
Mhm.
2021, because that was from 2018 going all the way up to 2020, they were like, man, just drop this game. And so again, it is at fault, instead of Phil saying, look, you just gotta, or Matt Booty or whoever, because Matt Booty, I think, is in charge of all of that, But then, of course, like I said, if you want to put the blame on Phil, I'm not going to sit there and say you can't. But regardless of the fact, whoever was in charge of saying that game needs to be released at this point in time, they said release it. And they may have said, well, all these service games, they usually take time to bring their content, but I don't think they knew how bad it was. And I don't know if the people that were in charge at that particular moment even knew how bad the lack of content was. So that's what I'm saying. So the developers is just doing what they're told to do. And the contractors, they started leaving in Exodus because they're already done with the job. They're saying the game is going to release, it's gold, so they're done. So they're ready to move on to wherever else. And then you got the developers that's over there scrambling and trying to do whatever else, and that's the whole thing. So it's a mess. But no, Phil Spencer being the sole person that's the blame. No, that's what you hire people that's under you to make sure that they look at that shit.
I really believe. Well, I'm a guy that grew up, under the, from back in the day, and whoever was the guy that was in charge, like Iowata. I
A
remember.
social game. I'm sorry. A social game, not a live service. I'm sorry. I kind of get them.
Remember back in the day, they were calling for Iowata to get fired.
Oh yeah,
He was
I
the head
remember.
guy. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I remember.
saying?
Yeah, I remember.
And it was nobody else to blame but him. Um, I think the same should go for Phil Spencer, because I really don't like his philosophy when it pertains to gaming. And that was just one of them. The other one, I found the tweet that I said, and this is where we had a disagreement, that I said, I really hate the cult of personality environment Phil Spencer and Microsoft have brought to Xbox. They want us to fall in love. They want us to fall in love with these personalities over the games. Old Xbox regime was all about games, never about the people behind the scenes. You know? And back then with the original Xbox and the Xbox 360, I had no idea who was running the show back then. Neither did I care, because they were supplying games to go with that hardware. which was phenomenal. You know, now today it's Phil Spencer is number one, number two is Game Pass, and number three is I'm not even sure what number three is. You know,
Probably Sarah
I feel
Bond.
like I feel like that's well, you know, yeah. Well, I mean by Phil Spencer, I mean the faces, Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, the guy Aaron Greenberg, and I
Aaron
go.
Greenberg, yeah.
That means nothing to me, and it means nothing to people outside of social media as well. I want to see, you know, and I know this is something that me as a doesn't own a business that makes trillions of dollars, but still, I think Phil Spencer needs to go because I do not like this cult of personality philosophy that he has that we need to fall in love with Phil except for falling in love with the games. And I
Okay,
don't
so
see
I'm gonna,
that,
I'm
You
you
gonna,
know
know?
about
I'm
you
gonna push
know.
back. I'm gonna push back on that.
Go
Hold on,
ahead,
sir.
go ahead, go
Can
ahead.
I
wanna
get
push back
this
on
real
that.
quick?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
You know, 70% of Xbox gamers that have Xbox Live are
Yeah.
not part of Game Pass. There's over 100 million people subscribe to Xbox, and only about 30% of them have Game Pass. So you still have people paying $60 a year for Xbox Live. So it's not everything's about Game Pass. They're still satisfying also the regular subscribers that don't have
But
Game Pass.
the main thing we hear from everybody from Xbox is what? How
Game
great.
Pass, but you're trying to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
people to convert. You're trying to get people to
Well,
change over to a new way
but
to play.
that's not. But that's not. I don't think there's a problem with Game Pass. I mean, we've had the discussion on GRG about like, you know,
Oh yeah,
I had Kid Smooth on that show, and we was basically just saying like, look, who is and we're all just sitting there like, well, okay, so what is the face of Xbox if it's not Halo anymore? And it can be Game Pass because Game Pass is a new phenomenon in the gaming space that is highly popular, and it's so popular that it's even made PlayStation make
make a
accommodations for
change.
something that
Yep.
it's not
but
that
back
no,
to but no back to my
it's not
pushback to what you were saying back to your first point.
go
Okay,
ahead,
hold on, no, because I ain't letting you slide on that by talking about
go ahead,
because let me get you on this one because okay,
go ahead.
so let me ask you this question. What is then if you want to say that about Phil, then how about we say that about every Kojima game? Do people sit there and care about the Kojima game, or is it about because it's from Kojima?
I'm one of the biggest Kojima guys, haters.
Oh,
Kojima haters.
you're a hater, but no, but just answer the question: is it Kojima or is his game?
I hate the cult of personality of Kojima. That's the worst. He was the first guy that taught me about what Phil Spencer was doing at Xbox because of what started with him. I can't stand Kojima's guts, man.
So you
do
never
not like
played a Metal Gear?
I played
You,
Metal Gear. I played Metal Gear Solid 1 for the PlayStation 1, and I love that game. It's great.
oh yeah, and two.
But,
Two
but,
was
that,
great
but that's
too.
not a reason for me to go to just worship this man. I hated
The
Metal Gear
man made
Solid 2.
great games, and more people than now are playing Death Stranding. They're starting to like, and because of the fact that
Yeah, they are.
he added the pew pews, he sit there and said, "Look, I mean, hell, it's not only just
You
Americans that
made
like
great,
guns; everybody
you made
likes
great,
guns."
Kojima made great games. Like what?
Zone of the Enders. You didn't like Zone of the
I
Enders?
love Zone of the Enders. I love one
Zone
and
of the
two.
Enders was
I got them
classic.
both. I got them both.
The old Liberty,
Yeah, the ones
the
from the
Patriot, the
PS2.
Patriots.
Yeah,
You need to tell me I have to worship this man because of
I didn't
Zone of
say you had to
Enders?
worship. And
we don't
listen,
worship the
I don't
man, but
worship. I
we
don't worship
enjoy his
Phil.
games.
I
I
I
worship
appreciate what
no
Phil has
man
done.
except my father. That's the
Yeah,
Wait,
only
hold up,
man I
hold up,
worship.
hold up.
yeah,
Do
yeah.
you like him now because he's making an exclusive for Xbox?
No,
No,
that
Did
doesn't
you
make.
like him
no,
before?
I just wanted.
no, I liked his games before, but but you know what I'm saying. But my problem was his. What I had a problem with him was when he made that comment about saying that because his game wasn't selling, is because he made that comment about you know the West does they all they care about is guns. No, your game is just too goddamn weird. It's not, you know what I'm saying, and so people get lost into your games are overly cinematic and we got to sit there and watch 20-30 minutes of cutscenes and they're very cinematic. That's the beauty of what Kojima does. But then again, that's also what takes you out of the immersion of the game. And then when he says, well, the game doesn't need guns because that, they don't know they don't know about art. Well, that let me feel some kind of way, like, because I mean, when you were making games, every game that you had that made you successful had guns in it. And so then he sit there and he added guns to his game. I've seen more people having a better time with Death Stranding than they did beforehand. So that's what I'm saying. But the whole situation with Phil Spencer is that, there might be people out there that idolize the man like that. I don't. I think he's a great guy's person. I met him personally. He seems genuine. You know what I'm saying? But I also know that, I do? Okay. But I also know, thank you very much. Hey, yeah, the super chat works, folks. Go ahead and support. Anyway, but if they don't, but the thing of it is that compared to the people, he cares about Xbox and he cares about the keeping Xbox alive. That's why so many people are excited about Phil Spencer being in charge. Hey, you can't blame a fan for talking about Phil Spencer or being excited about Phil Spencer for what he's done. It's no different than like for what you see with Sarah Bond. Sarah Bond, she's the one that helped push the narrative with Phil for Game Pass. And that right there is a absolute win. Aaron Greenberg is a fun guy. You know what I'm saying? Like the difference between that's the Xbox staff compared to other staffs. A lot of people don't interact with the Sony staff like people can. They're much more accessible. And to
especially when you go to E3, yeah.
If you go to these events and stuff like that, they're just much more accessible. Now, to some people, that might be a good or a bad thing, but I think that's the reason why a lot of people have the fanfare for them like they do, because of the accessibility.
I think that's so wrong. I'm a guy that grew up where the best way to win me over was supplying with games to go with that console, that brand new console. You know what I mean? It had nothing about the people behind the scenes. I get it. People like Miyamoto and they like Iwata, but those are the guys that showed improved. They showed improved every time. Were they right all the time? No, but that happens within creativity. I don't know. Phil Spencer with Game Pass, I guess it's successful. I haven't seen numbers. It's been about 6 or 7 months now.
I mean, all you got to do is read what Sony's writing to all the commissions out there, the commission boards out there. Game Pass is very successful. It's the number one selling service in gaming.
Since you're talking about elder time, you don't think the original Xbox had innovation? You don't think the 360 had innovation?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Like for instance, let's think about.
I love the original Xbox.
So did I. I love playing Project Gotham Racing too with my friends. That's where I discovered the real online game.
Do I love Xbox One? No. Do I love Xbox Series X? Absolutely not. And you can't tell me, in order for me to fully love the Xbox Series X and the Xbox One, I gotta pay an extra money for Game Pass to enjoy the full experience of Xbox. That's not fair. That's not right.
So you're telling me that
regular
Game Pass,
Xbox Live, you don't have to have Game Pass. Just go back and convert back to regular Xbox Live.
But see, no. But listen to what I'm saying. See, you got to listen to Zobi. So Zobi be throwing those indirect shots. You got to listen to his ass. See, I caught you. See, he said, listen to what he said. This man wants the value so bad, but he just wants it like, I pay $500 for the console. Yeah. And that's it. I should get Game Pass included. So he wants Game Pass. He just doesn't want to pay the extra for it. So Game Pass is very attractive to him, but he just feels that the service. So now, how do you think that works? Because companies are about making money. So
I mean, I'm saying without. Well, I'm saying you guys say that the appeal of Xbox Series X is to have Game Pass included, and I'm saying, well, that's not fair. I got to pay an extra money to get the full experience, where I can't have that full experience with just the Xbox Series X.
Okay, here you go. No. Let me break this down. I got to do this.
Okay.
If you don't want Game Pass, just keep your $60 a year gold.
He wants Game Pass.
Let me finish.
Okay.
But I'm just saying. But because you have gold, you will still get the discount on those games that are in Game Pass that you are interested in, and just buy that game. And when the games start getting better, then really come into the ecosystem of Game Pass and just be patient until it gets there to where you want it to be, where you feel satisfied about the setup. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
I
so
just pay the $60 a year.
Okay, so let me ask you this question then. All right, so okay, the family plan that's out there, right? Okay, so Nintendo has their family plan. I pay for the family plan. You're paying for extra for that to play the Nintendo classics, also the Sega classics. So I pay for that. I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I think that emulation is the way to go if you have a PC. Or if you want to get like one of those little, I forgot what those little things are called that you.
I know what you're talking
Yeah, I
about
can't
from
think of them.
Steam,
Yeah,
Steam, Stream something.
No. That's not what I was going to
Steam
talk about.
something.
No, I'm talking about
Oh,
for
okay.
emulation. But anyway, but you got that. So PlayStation has their version now, and so it's all about the competition. So nobody's giving anything for free. So why is it that you just going after Game Pass? I know
But
it's because it's the best value that there is. They got the best games and all that. I know you want it. You want it. Don't you can't deny it. You can't deny it. So you got to give Phil his props. That's Phil sit there and gave the green light gave the green light on it. So what, bro? So why Phil need to go?
I can enjoy the Nintendo Switch without paying for the extras.
Right.
Nintendo Switch.
You could do the same for the Xbox.
Yeah, just go gold so you can play all your multiplayer games. And if you see something you like on sale, buy it. Get a little discount from Microsoft.
You can get gold for real cheap. You ain't even you can find it
card, right,
for $20, $30 for just gold. Yeah, gold ain't shit to find for cheap now. So
CD keys and all that, yeah.
But the whole thing of it is the man wants Game Pass, but he just doesn't want to pay for it. That's the cheapest shit I've ever heard.
What I'm saying is I don't want Game Pass.
Oh,
because
you don't want it.
I was a supporter of Game Pass earlier on.
Mm-hmm.
But then I as a person that wants to be fair for gaming as a whole, I don't see the benefits of Game Pass only because I'm afraid of not owning my games.
You don't own your games now.
You worried about the DRM? You don't even own them on PlayStation.
You don't own your games. Well, that's just anything.
I do on the Nintendo Switch. I do on the Nintendo.
No, not even on Nintendo. Because I mean,
I don't know my physical games.
No,
physical. Everybody owns physical.
Because you know what you got to do with those games. You got to some of those games you got to get updates, and so you got to log in so they can get patches. That's part of the DRM, brother. They just don't say it anymore. You know what I'm saying? When you can say you can still play the games offline, but then once you sit there and once you get online, then boom, oh shit, I got an update.
But once you pay your cable bill,
you know what I'm
here come the update.
you got to update.
Nintendo games run without the patch. They give you an option if you want to start the game without the patch or with it. They do that.
Right? No,
I don't know what the patch does. I don't know what these patches they be telling me on Nintendo Switch.
It's part of that DRM.
Well, you can always go online and find out what the patch was. Yeah. And then read up what the latest patch includes. You can always find that out.
We own the license. We own the license to own that. We don't fully own these games anymore. That's out the window because of the fact of the way that these games are constructed. Because if these games have online, which most games do now, if they shut down those servers, that's it. For most games, that's it. That disc is a coaster. So that's just the way that and listen, this isn't nothing new. They've been doing this with music and other stuff for decades. That's why it cracked me up. I'm like, hold on, you just bought this music CD. What are you bitching for? You're still supporting DRM. Just because you don't do it with games, you're doing it with everything else that's got that DRM label on it. All you got to do is just read the fine print. So
look what happened to John Wick in the Sony Play Store. They discontinued it if you bought it from Sony Pictures. Yeah, it didn't matter if you was a disc. And it doesn't matter if you if you had the disc, you can always play it. But people bought it digitally. People bought it digitally. And they took it off and they could not watch it again. Nobody said, I heard some rumbling, but nobody said anything about it in the community as much as they gripe about DRM.
No. I swear, I'm just because it sounds like I'm coming after Xbox does not mean I'm PlayStation. I hate PlayStation more than Xbox.
What?
I do.
Don't get mad. Don't get mad when you could have fooled me for a minute, but I'm glad you
No,
straightened that out.
A lot of people think that just because I'm saying something about one company that means I'm showing love to another. I hate PlayStation. I hate that Last of Us Part 1. I hate God of War Ragnarok. I can't stand Horizon
Did you call it
Forbidden West.
Ragnarok? Oh,
whatever. Yeah.
I like that.
So disrespectful.
Ragnarok.
I
You got a
hate-
new phrase when the game
I-
come out.
I hate Recturnal. I hate Ratchet and Stank. It's
Return-
trash.
Oh man, what? Okay, hold on.
I
gotta read
love
this
I
super
love
chat. but
Ratchet and Clank.
I
I
gotta-
love Ratchet and
I
Clank.
gotta read this super chat, but I gotta get this explanation why you hate PlayStation so much. Carlos, thank you so much, brother. He says hear this while having 3 days on Death Stranding on Game Pass PC. Right, like going back to what I was saying, like like a lot of people play it because Pew Pews is in there. But okay, so explain me, because listen, I know I talk a lot of shit about PlayStation, but I do not hate PlayStation. I was a PlayStation diehard at one particular time, and I will always love PlayStation, just like I always love Nintendo. I have a love for all 3 consoles. It's just that I'm all in on Xbox because Xbox has been the most innovative. Has given me the best value, and on top of that, it's just that the atmosphere, the culture, just seems more of my fitting than it is for any place else. But why do you hate PlayStation?
Because I was, your biggest fans can become your biggest haters. I was a huge PlayStation fan coming up on the PlayStation 1. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought the Japanese games were coming from all over the place. I was getting Final Fantasy VII and the Chrono Crosses and the Xenogears. But as the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 came around, all of a sudden they got rid of all those games, and now their main focus is Call of Duty. I can't stand Call of Duty.
I'm a Battlefield person,
Yeah.
but that disappointed me this year.
But I will say this.
Their main focus, they're willing to go to war with Microsoft over Call of Duty, a game that's bleeding users, bleeding players. The last game sold like toilet water, and that was their main focus. And then they sold off Japan Studios, one of my favorite companies coming from PlayStation.
Yes.
They didn't sold them off. Excuse me. They didn't sell them off. They just got rid of them.
They got rid of
now.
They also say they
PlayStation has.
Titans.
So I go, then they have no Japanese games, and the Japanese games they have are on the Nintendo Switch. Final Fantasy 16 is not Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 7 Remake is not Final Fantasy 7. So
we're getting a lot of Japanese titles, I'd say, in Game Pass and on Xbox, and it's starting to be more over here right now than there is over on Sony right now.
PlayStation
I did some math. PlayStation still has now, but I'm talking recently.
Well, PlayStation still has more Japanese games, but Xbox.
The gap is closing. The gap is closing.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Zobi, keep going. What else?
I hate them more, and I mean that. Hate is a strong word. I cannot stand what they did, especially with Jim Ryan, and even before Jim Ryan. They have done.
Jack Tretton. I like Jack Tretton though.
Jack Tretton. He was
Trent
bad.
Was the man. I thought he was the man.
Yeah, I like Jack Tretton.
He was.
Before there was Phil, there was Jack Tretton for me. Jack Tretton was the man. Even though he was there briefly, that was the man.
That's why they got rid of him, because the fans liked him. That's why they get rid of him.
He was a bully as well. He made comments.
Yeah.
He was a bad person, because remember he made comments about Xbox Live.
Yeah.
People don't want Xbox Live. People just want to play games. He made an attack on achievements. You guys were the first to do the achievement system.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He attacked the achievement system. Yeah. People don't like achievements. He attacked handheld gaming and then came out with the PSP. So I didn't like him either, because he was very
because he
attacked the move mode. He attacked the Wii mode and came out with the move mode.
I know, that's when I think Jack Tretton left, is because he was like, look, I got to stand here and listen to what my boss, my superiors keep telling me to say to the public, and y'all keep making me look like an ass. Same thing with
So
Jim
you
Ryan. Same
just
thing with
made my
Jim
point.
Ryan. Jim Ryan is. I think Jim Ryan is a smart businessman, but Jim Ryan is now following the same path as what Jack Tretton did. Is that he was keep telling people this isn't good, backwards compatibility
Yeah.
ain't good, this ain't
Yeah,
good,
yeah,
that
yeah.
ain't good, and then they got to revert. You know what I'm saying? That you're right. So I mean, I don't know if that's they do that to Western when they got Western ball CEOs. I don't know, but
Yeah.
But Zoe pointed out what I said in.
because
Oh, go ahead.
Yoshida only had, you know what I'm saying? Yoshida only had like he was only thing he really came up and popped off what was about backwards compatibility. Other than that, Yoshida didn't really say too much other shit. Sean Layton, they threw him in a blender. So much so that he I don't know if he got fired or he quit. I think he got let go, but I guess because maybe Sean Layton said, I'm not going to be a puppet like that. Gave it to Ryan. But listen, I don't see. Listen, these guys make way more money than I do, so obviously they know what they're doing. It is sad that that Sony upper echelon keeps having these guys come out here and say something publicly, and then they got their fan base or their content creators coming out here and touting the same thing, and they make everybody look like an ass.
But Zoe, you made a point. Real, I wanted to can't make it with rolling, so I didn't want to interrupt. But Zoe, you made my point in your last statement. Sony used to be a leader in innovation, but now they're a follower. After the PS2, they started to become a follower.
As I get older, I realized that they weren't leaders.
No, in the beginning of
I'm telling you, I'm gonna show you how.
Okay.
The original PlayStation was not supposed to be the PlayStation.
I know it's supposed to be Nintendo, and then Sony was gonna help Nintendo to make a disc-based console, but then Nintendo backed out.
Yes, it was supposed to be the Nintendo PlayStation. But PlayStation 1 was basically Nintendo.
There's a few of them out there, actually, the original concept, and people were able to play. Yeah.
Yes. I'm not even sure if PlayStation was ever innovative because they just stole Nintendo.
And Nintendo didn't like what they were doing, so Nintendo backed out of the deal.
Well, they backed out of the deal, but I gotta push back on that too, because afterwards, because even though PlayStation and Nintendo did have that agreement to make the disc console, Nintendo just reverted back to cartridge. And PlayStation moved forward, and then was bringing things forward that they never brought, that we never seen in gaming before with the PlayStation 2 by adding the DVD.
Better graphics.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, better graphics.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, this was a misconception too, because PlayStation, I don't think the PlayStation has ever been the most powerful console, except for the PlayStation 3, because PlayStation 1 was not more powerful than the Saturn.
PlayStation. It came out with PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2 was not more powerful than the GameCube.
Saturn, right?
Or the Xbox.
It wasn't more powerful. It wasn't. The graphics look better on the Dreamcast.
Yeah,
I love my Dreamcast.
And the 3DO was the more powerful. The GameCube and the 3DO were more powerful consoles than the PlayStation 1. You know what I'm saying? And so PlayStation never was the premier graphical beast until the PlayStation 3, which that was a more powerful console than the 360, but that architecture was so damn difficult for developers that they just said hell with it, and they started porting all those games over to the 360 because it was easy to push out.
The Xbox One was more powerful than the PlayStation 2 at the time. The original Xbox. The original.
No.
It was the first one with a disc drive.
That's what I'm saying. The OG Xbox was way more powerful than the PlayStation.
Oh, yeah.
You looked at comparisons of Madden, I was like, this looks like a whole new game. What is going on here? So, yeah, no, there was no question. But I just think overall is that PlayStation were innovative. And then they realized, because I mean, look, PlayStation Home and all that other stuff that they came out with, that stuff was innovative. That was cool. Yeah. I mean, and then of course, when you go into the PlayStation 4, then of course they bought Gonkai, and then they came out with PlayStation Now and all that stuff. The point of this is that they're just too goddamn greedy. They don't they need a direction. They might have an idea to come out with something innovative, but they always, and as every company normally do, come out to try to find a way to take as much money from people as they possibly can. But it just wasn't it just wasn't viable. So here comes Microsoft already having so much innovation and doing what they're doing. They looked at the temperature in the room, and I think the blueprint for Xbox and for everybody really was EA when they came with EA Play, or it was EA Access at the time when they first came out, and that was the blueprint. And the Xbox was like, "Yo, hey, y'all see what this is? Let's go ahead and see what we can do."
$30 a year, baby. Play all the EA games. I got it every year.
So Sony has been innovative, but one thing that I looked at and I see what Curie is saying, and she's absolutely right, is that that PlayStation has lost its identity for Japanese games, because the truth is that these Japanese games, other than maybe a Final Fantasy or maybe Persona or something like that, they aren't selling. They're not selling
Persona,
worth a damn.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Persona's gone. Yeah, Persona. Yeah, you're 1,000% correct. They're not selling. They are selling on the Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah, they're killing
thank
it on
God.
Nintendo. Yeah.
That's why it's coming to Xbox, because they know people will buy it. People buy games on Xbox.
Well,
Game
Pass is attractive, and Xbox is spending money to make sure that these games are coming over here now. They're not being cheap.
It doesn't have to be in Game Pass. I've seen games that don't come in Xbox, but people buy it because they want to play it. So you can't say.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I don't think the Xbox guys.
Actually, me and K Mega be in that boat. It's like, there's a game that's not in Game Pass. I like it. I'm gonna buy it because we're
Soul Hackers 2 just came out. And a lot of Xbox guys got it, but it still sold more on a PlayStation, and it sold like trash on PlayStation as well.
Right. Well, no. That part is true. This is the thing, though. Yeah. That's the problem. Is that a lot of Xbox gamers, and it comes from some content creators that flip, which is the fucking ironic thing that cracks me up, is that they flip flopped. They were telling Xbox gamers that Japanese games doesn't matter. They're not the most important thing out there. And then they flip-flop their ass over to PlayStation and cap it for PlayStation. But that narrative that came from them still stays with Xbox gamers that never said that shit, me included. Like, I never said a Japanese game never was important, because they are important. I always cap for Japanese games. But that, but see, another thing is that the problem is that these games haven't been coming to Xbox in order for Xbox gamers to understand where these, about these franchises.
What the game is all about.
Yeah, like, I mean,
they have been coming, especially on the 360, but nobody was there. I'm still hearing people say
I bought Blue Dragon.
Blue Dragon. They're still talking about Blue Dragon. And I'm like,
and Lost Odyssey, and shit like that.
Oh yeah, I own them both.
No, but I'm saying they're talking about buying it. I just bought me Blue Dragon for the first time, and I go, what?
Yeah. I mean,
guess what? It still goes as a sale.
Yeah,
still goes as
they
a
bought it
sale.
on sale. And I was just like, oh, see, that's the problem. Is we're buying games on sale and on Game Pass, and when Japan looks at that and they're going, I can't put my games there because nobody's putting the money where their mouth is. There's a lot of Twitter accounts that are saying, they want Japanese games. Mm-hmm. They're not selling. I saw you put up Soul Hackers 2 gameplay.
Yeah.
And Xbox guys were asking for Japanese games, and then I saw a majority of them talking about, I'm not buying that because it's turn-based. And I go, oh my God.
When Final Fantasy 10 and 10 Remake and some other Final Fantasies, I bought it. They were not in Game Pass at the time, the Final Fantasy. I bought them the minute they came out. I bought them the minute and a whole bunch of people that I know bought the Final Fantasy. Onimusha Warlord. People have never played it. It was only on PS2 at the time. Mm-hmm. I bought it, and a lot of other people I know bought it. It was only $20 when it came out. That was the price, but I knew I was going to get it anyway when I heard it was coming out. Even if it hadn't have been at $20, I would have paid $60 to play that game again. A lot of people are doing that. they buy games on Xbox because a lot of them they never had a chance to play from back in the day,
Well,
and they never had achievements. So
well,
people buy games on Xbox.
let's just make this is. I think this is the ultimate reality of it, that this is the beauty of Game Pass, because the more Japanese games that will coming on to that console, because I do believe the Soul Hackers will drop on eventually. I would tell people to wait and not pay the $60 for the game, because if you're skeptical of something, and if you buy it for 60, and let's say that there's another game that you wanted more, then I would tell you to get the game more. I think that the game is a good game. I love turn-based. I've always been a fan. But this is the reason why people have changed and went to, and that's why Final Fantasy has changed from turn-based to action. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can look at it either way from my standpoint.
I'm gonna drive up there in a minute. We'll go up there together.
But I'm looking at it from this standpoint overall, is that Game Pass will help a game like Soul Hackers, because and for other titles that are more neat, that a lot of people don't know about. That's why the Blue Dragons and because listen to what you just said though. People are saying those games are on Game Pass. But if you sit there and you say
Blue Dragon's not on Game Pass.
Oh, it's not on Game Pass. But people sit
Never
there
been on Game Pass. Blue Dragon or what was that other one you said that I have
they
to?
both was on Game
Lost
Pass.
Odyssey, no, they're not in Game Pass. They've
okay.
never been in Game
Well,
Pass.
they won't sell enough to go.
They gave Lost Odyssey away with games with gold.
And did they give away games?
Right.
Was it games with gold?
But Blue Dragon was never that. Blue Dragon, you had to buy it.
Then was it Blue Dragon that was on like games for gold then? Because I would have swore it was on.
No, Blue Dragon you had to buy. Blue Dragon you had to buy.
Oh, okay.
It was never on games for gold. Never.
Then I'm mistaken. So let me scratch that out. Let me just make a point about games for like this. Is that's what's going to help. That's what's going to help Persona, because I guarantee that's what helped Yakuza. Nobody was going to buy Yakuza like that. They were going to cap. I mean, I bought them all.
There are more people playing Yakuza on Xbox than on PlayStation. I did the math. I checked it out. More people play Yakuza on Xbox since it came out than ever bought it on PlayStation. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
So that's
because they never had a chance.
So that's the thing for me, is that I think that's the benefit of what Game Pass does, is give people the opportunity to try these games. They already got it in the service. It helped Scarlet Nexus. It helped Yakuza. It's going to help if you know what I'm saying, it's going to help
Guardians of the Galaxy.
You know what I'm saying? Well, that's not a Japanese game.
But you know, just general idea, yeah.
So anyway, I don't know. What you got? Any other points that you wanted to say, Zobi?
You guys made great points. I think that was it. I was against I still am against the cult of personality or the idol worshiping that goes with Phil Spencer, because I don't feel like
that's people.
He's done anything yet. Yeah, I get it. That's the human race.
So you're saying that he hasn't done anything from your perspective?
He hasn't changed the course to Xbox.
In comparison to what was the other guy? I don't know his name because he didn't put himself out there like that. But what was the guy?
Don Matrick?
No. Well, okay, that's another point.
Don Matrick and Peter Moore was before that.
Peter Moore.
I love Peter Moore.
Peter Moore is phenomenal, man. That dude.
I love Peter Moore.
Did a poll asking who do you guys want, Peter Moore or Phil Spencer. Everybody said Phil Spencer, and I said Phil hasn't done anything in comparison to what Peter Moore has done.
And Steve Ballmer, don't forget. Steve Ballmer Peter Moore used to ask Steve Ballmer, can we do this? Can we do this? And Ballmer said, yeah, go ahead and do it. He didn't give a shit. I'm not talking about the Red Ring of Death. I'm talking about anything that he wanted. Ballmer would tell him, go ahead and do it. If it gets us in the game, do it. I used to love them two together. So I know what I'm talking about.
The backwards compatibility and the Game Pass is great, all because we're getting access to games that Peter Moore put out there, not what Phil put out there. Ain't nobody playing Halo Infinite. Nobody playing Forza 6 or whatever. This new Forza Horizon.
Yes, they are. Now to the past, though.
Yes, they are. Man, you better look at those numbers. Man, you can't be capping like that, man. You can't be capping like that. You know what I'm saying? Forza is one of the most played games out there, bro. You better look at those numbers again. Check those numbers again.
I don't know what the numbers were when it launched, but now,
Yeah,
man,
but
like,
there's over,
and don't forget Sea of
12
Thieves.
million people playing the game now.
Don't forget Sea of Thieves. That's got over 20 million
20 million
people playing consistently.
Grounded got over 10 million. That's going to be dropping here next week. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Xbox, Phil is State of Decay has over 10 million people playing.
People still playing Halo
Yeah.
5 and running the time
people
weekends, say
jump back
20
on Halo
million
5
strong.
and the Master Chief
Yeah.
Collection. That, you know what I'm
It's
saying?
huge in the top 10 on Steam.
Yeah. Now I don't know if
Wait,
Master Chief Collection was
you guys are
officially.
bringing these Steam numbers, man. I'm talking about.
I'm talking about
Xbox.
Xbox too. There are people that play Master Chief Collection. I see people all the time going back to I got a lot of people. They play Master Chief Collection on the weekends a lot because they like the multiplayer. And they fixed a lot of stuff. You know, people do go back.
Yeah, people are going to go back to Halo Infinite. There's no question.
And Master Chief
The game is
Collection,
too,
they play them.
The game is too good to not go back to. That's
Yeah,
the one,
it is.
That's the one. That is the gift and the curse of these type of games.
Right. The story was okay, but the multiplayer was the shit.
I thought the story was good, but the story just needed more, and I hated the fact that Joseph Staten cut as much as he did because I don't feel that a lot of that stuff needed to be cut.
Yeah, they needed to add more story to the game.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how crazy things were. I don't know, whatever the case may be, whatever. But no, that Phil is turned from, and then also these acquisitions. That right there is Phil. That's all Phil.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Phil went to the head of Xbox of Microsoft and said, "Look, either we're all in or we're all out." You know what I'm saying? Look, all this half stepping, we dealing with this bullshit with Sony timed exclusives. This and that, blah, blah, blah. I want to make the most powerful console. I want to have these ideas. The Series S, we need to make something to give people some value. We need to have a strategy also with getting gamers to have access to more games. Game Pass, you know what I'm saying, with the help of Sarah Bond, also Greenberg, that he's got moved up now. Advertising is getting back. Look, I'm loving it.
Oh no, you can't do Greenberg because Greenberg is the man. He's been there since the beginning. He's been there for 40 originally.
Greenberg is from the days of
I cannot love Sarah. I cannot listen. I cannot love Sarah. Hold on. I cannot love Aaron Greenberg. I cannot love Sarah Bond.
Watch your man. Watch him out.
And I can't love Phil Spencer because
why you can't love, you know what I'm saying, a black woman in that position in video gaming, in that position, bro. She might, man. What are you talking about? Name me another black person in a high position like that at Sony or Nintendo.
Reggie, he used to be there, but he did a phenomenal.
Reggie mixed.
What Reggie is?
Reggie's mixed.
He's black. He's a black man.
He's mixed. It mixes. It's just black.
Yeah, he's a black Haitian.
But right
he's
now,
mixed like The Rock. The Rock is mixed.
Oh my goodness.
No, he's from Haiti. He's Haitian. He's not mixed.
He looks mixed sometimes.
Name me somebody right now at Nintendo, PlayStation that's at a high level that is African American.
I don't care.
Or African or anything. You know what I'm saying? Haitian? Whatever. None.
I mean, I don't, but this is the thing. This is what Microsoft knows this. And they're playing off of the.
Oh my God! I can understand if she was just coming up there.
I knew that was coming.
I knew that was coming. I can understand if she's just coming up there, just talking and not doing nothing. The woman has provided Game Pass with Phil. Like, what are you talking about? She is the person that introduced. Man, come on now.
So with Phil, so her and Phil Spencer created Game Pass.
She was the person that I believe that came to Phil about it, and then Phil was the one that sit there and gave it to go. So I mean, Phil's got to get. He's the last one at the top of the hill that's saying, look, because. Nadal sit there and put him in the chair saying, look, hey, you have to
give Phil some credit because if Phil didn't come on, I don't think Microsoft would be where they are today.
Can I say something messed up?
Yeah, you can say what you want to. Go ahead.
You've
Go
been
ahead.
saying messed up stuff, but go ahead.
I don't care about Sarah Bond. I don't care about her color.
That's fine. That's fine.
I don't care that she's a woman. I don't. At the end of the day, I'm a gamer who wants a game.
That's not messed up to just say that. I mean, I get that. Go ahead.
No, this is
it
the messed
shouldn't
up
matter
part.
at the end of the day. But I mean, it makes me excited.
This is the messed up part.
Oh shit. Okay. Go ahead.
Sarah Bond, I'm sorry, Sarah Bond, but I have to go here. Who was Sarah Bond married to?
Ain't married to nobody that I know of.
I don't know. She's
married to a white. She's married to a white man.
She's not married. She don't have a ring on her finger.
She's married to a white man.
I mean, is she? I mean,
oh yeah.
Google it. I'm married to a white woman. What's the problem? But I mean, does that change my blackness? Does that change my blackness because I'm married to a white woman?
I'm just saying.
What?
We're giving her all these black props.
Absolutely.
But I'm going, well, her affiliation is white. It ain't black.
Come on. Bro, so I'm over here capping for doing the saying the hashtag save lock. I love black protagonists. This is what we need more in game. We need more protagonists of people of color and the difference. But now that's got to be erased because I got a white wife. Shit, are you kidding me?
No. A black man.
Yeah. Oh, come on now. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because our sisters hold us down, man. I got aunties. I got my grandmother. Man, I was raised by women, man. No, they're some of the strongest people on the fucking planet. Do not do that. Do not do that.
But that's the problem, is that they're so strong. They're strong with us, but they're weak with the white man.
No, she's strong as fuck, dude. I've dated some strong white women. I've dated some strong black women, dude. It doesn't matter.
The black woman doesn't need us, but she needs the white man.
No. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Come on, man. We can't do this. We can't do this.
Oh Lord.
It's the truth.
But this will get you censored.
No. That ain't gonna get me
this
censored.
conversation.
That's wild, bro. That's wild.
It's the truth. She's strong and independent with us, but when she's with the white man, she's docile and she doesn't raise her voice at all.
Oh my God. Are you what? Where is that logic coming from?
Part of that.
It's what I see. It's what I know.
I know.
I was dating a black girl once.
Oh, a woman. How many? Okay, so what? Okay, so
excuse me. No.
Oh shit!
No.
Come on now. Come on now.
Come on,
Zoe.
I was dating this one black girl, right?
Yeah.
And
you made that past tense. So, but go ahead.
No. I mean, it was like 2 years ago. I took this black girl to the movies. She was cool and she was fine, but I had to check her because she got on the phone on my date. I'm trying to get to know you, and she's picking up
all women do that.
Oh no.
Let her finish.
That's a test. If a woman does that to you, you need to check that.
Oh yeah, I'd be like, yeah, I've done that before.
You need to check that. That's
white or black. I'd be like, no, I can't deal with that.
Yeah,
you just
if a woman does that to you, that's a sign of disrespect.
Yo, take it back to gaming. Take it back to gaming. We can't go down.
We're about to wrap it up.
Take it back to gaming.
We're about to wrap it up.
That was Zoe's fault. That was all Zoe's fault.
I gotta say this though. I have to say this. I gotta clarify this very, very much so.
Oh Lord, I tried, y'all.
Yeah, no, you did. I gotta say this though. But listen, it doesn't matter if you're true to yourself. It's who you are and what you are. It doesn't matter who you're with. It does not matter, because at the end of the day, if you change, if you're a person that is strong in your beliefs and then you change, unless your beliefs are radically crazy or want to harm people or something like that, but if it's something that you believe in as strong and empowerment, and if that other person changes you, then it's not that woman, it's the individual themselves. I think that there are all type of strong women out there. It doesn't matter what color they are. But
the woman shouldn't be strong though. That's the thing that they've taught in our black women is to be strong.
We're not going there. We are not going there. That's another topic for another show that eventually K-Mega will create.
Yes, that'll be another topic for another show that I will create because that is something I would love to talk about.
That's the reason why feminism, the feminist.
We gotta let it go. We gotta let it go today.
Okay.
We gotta let it go today. That's a different show.
Okay,
anyway,
guys, I guess I'm gonna
hold on. Let me go back. I didn't finish.
Go ahead, finish what you gotta say. Gotta finish so we get done.
On the gaming part.
All right.
So, I wasn't the one that took it to the black thing, but if people wanted to use the black
card, K-Mega, you did do that.
So if anybody wants to say that it was me, Zobi, you did it. It wasn't me. I didn't care about the black.
I did say that. But that was saying me in a proud moment of seeing some, because I'm always about inclusion. I want more women. I want more people of color to be involved in gaming because there's been so many people of color who's been playing games for I don't know how long. So I think
they were Asian, Latino, wouldn't matter.
There are already people of color that are in gaming. K-Mega is a man of color who's he might not have the same attention that IGN has, but I'm coming to K-Mega first before I come to anybody else when it pertains to video games. And to me, that should be worth way more than having a bunch of followers. If you got Zobi 70 coming to look for your opinion, that's way more worth than anything, Now,
wow, you gotta ruin. You gotta look at your show. Your people in the chats, dude. Oh my god.
That's great.
Everybody's opinionated. That's fine. And listen, I am all about people saying how they feel, but I'm not going too left because we try to be somewhat respectful. But
yeah, that's a different show.
That's a different show for sure. But Abacab, I beat Soul Hackers last night. I beat Soul Hackers 2 last night. It took me an hour to beat the final boss. My final level, I was a level 63 overall level, but in the Axis, my level is for Arrow. I got down to the 5th floor, and I'm 116 with him. Melody, I think that's how you say her name, and Sanzo, they're both at like 103 and 104. So, and they're on the 4th floor in the Axis. But yeah, no, I'm finna go back and because I want to get to the overall 90 rank so I can get Satan and that you control demons, you're a demon summoner, and all the rest of those crazy powerful demons that they got. So I want to get those so I can so I can see what those Sabbaths look like. But yeah, no, I beat it last night. So I've been no life in it ever since I got it on the 25th. So I really enjoyed the game though. I really did. But anyway, all right, I just have to get out of here because I gotta get ready. I gotta get ready for the next podcast here.
Yeah, no, me too.
Yeah. Just one point. I really hope it was worth it. I really hope that the love for Phil Spencer.
Oh my God! Let it go.
I'm telling you,
let the man finish. Let the man finish.
I'm just saying. I really hope that we are giving away gaming truly is, just so that we can appease the corporation instead of finding enjoyment within ourselves. If that's your enjoyment by worshiping Phil and Sarah Bond, I hope it was worth it, because I'm telling you, something is coming. Something is coming so strong right now, and I see it coming, and I predicted everything. People don't like me because I predicted everything.
Real quick, why do you think we worship them? We don't worship them.
Well, if you're taking Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer over actually having some games, where are the games that were made for the Xbox Series X?
They're being delayed. I said
that's a problem. That's a problem.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Because
if you complain,
whoa.
Go ahead, bro.
Let me make this point, Zobi, because that's bullshit. Because
that's a problem.
No, that's not a problem.
We don't have any games.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me ask you this question. When you see all the games that get delayed on Nintendo, why I don't see you posting in that you're saying that's a problem?
Because just getting mad at Zelda Breath of the Wild getting delayed is silly when we get Pokemon Legends of Arceus, Pokemon Scarlet. We get so many games.
Didn't those games get delayed? They were supposed to come out last year?
Yeah, it did.
No, they were not. It was supposed to come out this year. Every game that was supposed to come out came out this year. We got a Xenoblade Chronicles 3. We got with Harvest.
Which I thought that game was supposed to come out last year. I thought that game got delayed.
What game?
The Xenogears. Oh, Xenoverse.
No, it was supposed to come out. It was actually supposed to come out months ago, but it was pushed back.
It got delayed, did it not?
No, it did not. No, it was supposed to come out.
Okay.
It was supposed to come out.
So where's your Zelda?
Where's the
No.
where's the other Metroid that's supposed to be coming out? Metroid Prime or whatever.
Xenoblade Chronicles was supposed to come out later, but then they pushed it forward. They didn't push it back.
But where's your new Zelda that's supposed to be out 2 years ago? What happened? Delayed again? And delayed again?
We get so many games. We get so many games compared to the Xbox. We're still waiting. We're still waiting for something. That's what I'm trying to say. Our game,
but that's the problem right there.
with Metroid,
PlayStation can get their games delayed.
Did you say Metroid Prime 4, right?
Yeah.
Namco Bandai was supposed to make that game. They took Namco Bandai off. And then that's why they brought in the original creators. That's the reason why the game is being delayed.
So PlayStation games can get delayed as many times as possible.
Oh, I get on PlayStation 2. I get on PlayStation 2.
But Nintendo games can get delayed as well.
Oh,
but now since Xbox got a lineup of games that are going to go, but they want to delay them before so they can get these games right. That's a problem.
Hey, Mega, there's a difference because we've been waiting for games since the Xbox One.
Oh my God, well, that was games to play on the Xbox.
And there was a lot of great games.
Stan's just been playing them.
Halo, Gears of Forza. We've been waiting for games. We've been getting for games since the Xbox 360. So it's the end of the Xbox.
Did you ever play Rise? Did you ever play Rise? Did you ever play Titanfall 1? Did you ever play?
If you can name the games, that's a problem. I can't name the games that come from Nintendo Switch because there's so many.
I'm talking about the Xbox games that came out
at
the beginning of the Xbox.
So why did Xbox win Publisher of the Year last year? Why did Xbox win Publisher of the Year last year? Why did Xbox win Publisher of the Year?
Yeah, they did.
Jeff Keighley?
Oh shit!
No,
that's
it
not
wasn't
Jeff Keighley, bro.
That's not Jeff Keighley.
That's for. You're killing me, bro. I love you to death.
Where did they win Game of the Year? I never heard of it. I never heard of it.
But you never heard of Publisher of the Year? Just look it up, and then you'll see what the games that they dropped last year. This is just a game. Listen.
Halo Infinite, and Forza 6. Another Halo.
No. There was some other games out.
Just Psychonauts 2, all that, whatever. Psychonauts 2 for one. Yeah.
Wasn't that on other platforms as well?
It was,
but Microsoft was the developer.
Yeah,
Microsoft.
I mean, they own Minecraft, but I mean, it's still their game. I mean, so again, you're gonna tell me that like MLB The Show, even though that's owned by Sony, that still isn't a Sony property because that's a multi-plat now?
It is a multi-plat. It's on everything. It's on Nintendo Switch. MLB was the one that.
But who's getting the money from it? It's MLB and Sony who's getting the money. It's not any other. It's not no third entity. So I mean, I guess maybe get a percentage or something. Maybe like
MLB was the one that okayed that. MLB was the one that okayed that.
Yeah, I know that, but still, Sony owns Demon Slayer, the fighting game, but that's multi-plat. That's on everything.
Sony owns Demon Slayer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So again, listen. If you want to talk about, and I ain't got no problem with people talking about the AAA asterisk on Xbox for 2022, that is fine. But you can't sit there and tell me, but you can't be a person that didn't have that same energy when PlayStation has delayed their games and Nintendo has delayed their games.
You can't
because if there was no window of games that we know that's coming out from Xbox.
Nigga, I'm telling you, I had the energy for PlayStation. Okay, I did. Yeah.
That ain't what we heard today. Today, all we heard was Xbox delay, but we didn't hear PlayStation delay. Since you've been here, there was nothing about PlayStation delay.
The conversation is about Xbox. I shouldn't have to bash PlayStation at the same time, or talk about PlayStation when we're talking about.
You want to bash? So it's one at a time. We can't just kind of put it all together, huh? So
I already told you guys. I think PlayStation.
Me and K-Mega and the Xbox community have conversations. Believe it or not, we make it across the board. We just don't single out one company, though. We don't do that.
I'm just going off of the topic. I'm not the topic isn't let's talk about PlayStation and Xbox delays. Now, if you want to do that, then we can do that. But the topic is
No, I see Sony in there. Okay, he says this: Xbox strategy versus Sony strategy. My thoughts. That's what his show says in the description.
no, I understand that, but the topic that we were having was not about Xbox versus PlayStation. Now, if that was the case, I would say PlayStation is worse when it pertains to the delays. All of their games get delayed.
That's fine.
But-
People, like I said, if people want to get upset about the fact that there's that
But
Xbox delayed their
even
games,
still,
that's fine.
even,
but it's
no.
still-
But even my topic was never about Xbox delays or Starfield being that was never my thing. I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about where are the games to go with this $500 console that are built for the console. That's what I'm
Why
saying.
didn't you say that? You didn't say that in none of this conversation.
He did say
No,
that.
he
He did say it. He did say
But
that.
you
He did say
didn't
that. But I'm
say,
saying,
but I know what he said, but he didn't say built for this console.
so tell me what so tell me what games that's been out there overall that you would say that is a game that is a PlayStation, Nintendo. Well, not Nintendo because Nintendo is what's it called, or Xbox or Nintendo, or Xbox or a PlayStation game that screams PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X game. I can name one right off the bat, but go ahead.
I think neither of the consoles have put out a true next generation experience. This is the next generation. I say neither PlayStation, neither Xbox. That was one of my gripes with both of the companies because I felt like they haven't given us a game to equate with that next generation experience.
Have you seen the fix to Cyberpunk? It's beautiful on the Xbox One X.
That game should have been only on the new consoles.
Yeah, it should have been.
But I was thinking like Horizon Forbidden West is a beautiful game. That game does not look the same on a PlayStation 4. Gears, Hive Busters, damn sure don't look the same on Xbox. On an Xbox
Hold on,
compared to a
That's
Series
the
X.
best looking game in this generation.
That's one of the best looking games out there. Next,
Guys,
to
hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me. I've been gaming for a long time.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And the next generation experience was never graphics.
No,
It's
what
never
are you talking
graphics.
about? You talk about innovation and things like that, like just overall.
Yeah, when I bought my Nintendo Switch, when I bought Zelda Breath of the Wild,
yeah,
that was the next generation right there. They took handheld gaming to the next generation.
Breath of the Wild.
I've seen GameCube
Yeah.
games
Yeah.
look better than the Nintendo Switch.
I'm not talking
I've
about graphics.
He's not talking about graphics. He's talking about just.
Graphics.
I'm talking about gameplay too.
Talking about when I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
Mario was the first game I played, right? And I saw the leap. I saw the drastic leap from Mario NES to Super Mario for the Super Nintendo, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when I noticed the true next generation experience was taking Super Mario and turning it into Mario 64. It was a whole new experience, but it was still able to keep the core elements that were Mario.
But just
when
like
I look at
Kiri
Halo
saying in the
Infinite.
chat, she said that game is on the Wii U though.
It's a next generation experience.
It's on the Wii U. It's on the Wii U.
No. It's a next generation experience.
You want to compare?
It has
Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider has innovated itself.
has completely changed the landscape of what an open world game is supposed to be. That's what Zelda Breath of the Wild did.
And you say that about Tomb Raider. then.
Zelda
Tomb Raider
Breath
has
of the
innovated.
Wild. Zelda Breath of the Wild is a fantastic game, but it's
Yeah, it
an
is.
open world
It
game.
changed the landscape
And that's what's the
of
main.
gaming.
It's a vastly big open world game. But listen,
It
it is not no
changed
game.
the
It's not a
landscape
game
of
changer.
gaming.
Like it's not a game changer. Like I would say, The Witcher 3 or go for. Come on, you. I know.
I think the Wind
ain't
Waker
played Witcher
was.
3.
I think the Wind Waker for Zelda was one of the most innovative games that I've played.
Man,
Okay.
I got to get ready for the next podcast here in a little bit. So I got to get out of here. I'm gonna, man, come on now. I know you ain't laughing at Witcher 3, one of the best games ever made.
Actually, yeah, they say it was the best game the last generation. That's a fact. Every critic says that.
It's very different.
Can I finish? I just want to finish before you go, K Mag. I know you got to go. But I just want to finish my point.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, when it comes to PlayStation and Xbox, when I saw Nintendo do with Zelda and the Zelda Breath of the Wild,
I thought it was just Nintendo or Xbox. Why'd you go back to Nintendo?
Let him finish.
No, hold on. I'm telling you, if you guys let me talk, you're going to hear everything I'm saying. But,
let him finish. Don't interrupt. Let's just let him finish.
Yes, sir.
I saw that leap. I saw that. It had nothing to do with graphics or none of that stuff, man. It had everything to do with that. It was just it. It was the it factor. Now, when I look at PlayStation and Xbox, I look when Horizon Forbidden West. Okay, the graphics look better on that. Okay, whatever. But when I'm talking about when the aspects of Horizon Forbidden West compared to the first game, there wasn't really nothing drastic there to really change the landscape of gaming because Elden Ring came right behind it and destroyed it. When I look at Halo and Halo Infinite, I just see a company that's just trying to recreate what they did in the past, except for giving us the next generation Halo game. That's the point I am trying to make. Where is that experience on the Xbox and PlayStation in comparison to what Nintendo Switch did? I'll wait.
I mean, look, I'm guaranteed. Like, listen. You can talk about the content with Halo Infinite, but man, I ain't seen nothing Nintendo did that was on that level or that scope or scale in the sense of, you know what I'm saying?
Just more Halo, man.
No. It was more than that. It was more
Halo
than that.
5 is
it was
fire.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean, we're not even talking about Xbox One. You're just talking about the new consoles. And I'm saying like Halo Infinite.
It's just more Halo.
Listen, I'm going to even go as far as to say, and I haven't even played the game yet, but I'm sure that Horizon Forbidden West is a better experience than what you got off of all the games on the Switch. Just because visually, combat, things like that. I could be wrong on that. But I haven't played with them. But I mean, visually, it could.
Horizon Forbidden West got his ass kicked by Elden Ring.
Can I just say it's more Zelda?
And you know what? You named another game. You named another game that I'm glad you named it. That game right there. There's not now. Listen, because I got Breath of the Wild, and I'm not trying to take anything from it. The game is great, but that game, Elden Ring, that game changed lives. I beat that game. I don't like Souls games.
Elden Ring is just the first Souls game that casual players play.
No, it's a totally different game.
It's not. No, it's not. I played it. It's not. It's not.
It's not.
It's not true.
So it's not. You saying it's not?
Game. It's the same.
Oh my!
Everything.
You saying it's the same game?
Everything is still the same. It's the same game.
Oh my god!
The only Souls game that is different that is Bloodborne. That is it. It's just like Dark Souls 3, 2, and 1. Nothing different. I was with Dark Souls before all of y'all jumped on the bandwagon with Elden Ring. So I know.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? I know that well, no, I played what's called. So now you might play because I'm not into I got Sekiro and I have Bloodborne, and I enjoyed Bloodborne. I didn't beat it, but I enjoyed it. But Elden Ring changed everything for me because I was not a Dark Souls fan. And I know that the games have a familiar feel. And that's the one thing when you say that it was just like Breath of the Wild was all original, it's not, because those implementations were in other games before that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, come on, Zobi,
here's innovation for you. And K-Mega, you love this game.
That
Detroit Become Human. That Detroit Become Human was a beautiful game, and it was totally innovative. Something totally new.
Was it a game?
It wasn't totally new, but I mean, yeah, that was a game.
Detroit Become Human. You never heard of that game?
Oh my god!
Was it a game? Was it a video?
It was a game.
It's a video game. Yes, it's a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's over here clowning. Anyway, man, let's get the hell out. I got to go. All right.
So, we gotta go. I gotta go to the store and get something to eat.
Where can they find you at?
Just meet us on the next podcast later on in about an hour, everybody, and we'll tell you everything.
All right. And Toby, I do appreciate it, man. You kept the chat lively, and you know what I'm saying? Again, anytime I pop on, if you want to come in, You always welcome.
I'll
You know
be
what I'm
here.
saying? We good. We good for that.
You're my guy. It is.
You my guy, man. You be
because-
going fucking left, but you my guy. I was
I
saying
might
that.
have
No,
to
no,
take a Tylenol after the show if he there next
But
time.
where
Trust me,
I
but where
just
can they
joking,
find
bro.
But where can they
I'm
find
just
you at?
joking.
No, I'm gonna try to be here as much as I can. I'm gonna be right here on the K Mega channel, man.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
All right. Where can they find you at, Zoe?
Yeah, just Zobi 70. Yeah, just check me out there. But I'm gonna try to
On
be here.
Xbox or Twitter or what?
I'm on Nintendo Switch. But I can't put my code in. But that's about it.
But you don't have an
Xbox,
Xbox?
no, Xbox. I'm on Moon. I play 360 games though.
What?
Monkey King. I just play 360 games.
Oh my goodness. All right, guys. I'm
Okay,
into the show.
that's
We're
another
out.
topic. We ain't
Everybody
dealing with
have
that.
a good peace. You're right. Just end the show. I'm getting the hell out of here.